All right, so I want to tell about my experience being able to attend Michael Jackson's funeral with all access. Now, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Shawntel. I have a background in high-end real estate, and I've worked for some world-renowned brands. And because of that, I've been invited to and attended some of the largest events in the world. I've been around the world, and yet Michael Jackson's funeral was probably one of the greatest events I've ever attended. I keep this. It's still in new condition. It is his obituary, and in it, it's amazing. Absolutely, I will keep this thing in absolute new condition. I have two of them. All right, so here's the story. I was selling real estate at the Ritz-Carlton at LA Live. I was selling the private residences at the Ritz-Carlton, and they sat above the Staples Center. The owners of that particular building also own the Staples Center, and as part of our incentive to sell, we had all access to every pass, every event, everything there at LA Live. I wore a badge, it had my name, and it said all access. And I can walk into any venue at any time unless it was private. And the day of Michael Jackson's funeral, me and my colleagues had a suite. We were able to invite guests. And in this case, I walked down to what they call the bow, where Michael Jackson's casket was being delivered. And I approached the gold casket as it was coming inside of the stadium, and I touched it. And I am a big Michael Jackson fan. In fact, one of my very good friends told me just the other day, shout out to Cookie, she told me that it was one time we were at one of my houses, and she was saying that, when during the allegation period for Michael Jackson, I kicked her out of my house. Like, that's how much of a serious fan I was. So I touched his casket, and I literally fainted and fell back into Smokey Robinson's arms. This was like, oh my God. So I gathered myself, went back to the suite that we had up above, and proceeded to watch the rest of the service. Now, there was one part, and if you watch or follow me, you probably heard me talk about this before, but there was one part where when they brought his casket up on stage, and by this time the arena is filled with over 16,000 people. There wasn't a seat that was empty in the arena. And so the service went ahead and proceeded, and there was a moment where it was silent, and it was a young girl up in the higher level section, and she screamed out, "Michael, we love you!" And this just vibrated throughout the entire arena. And I will never forget that moment, because it's like that touched everyone. And this is when his daughter Paris was very small, and she was standing on stage, and and she started to cry. Now, for ones that were watching at home, I don't know if if that was caught. I don't know if the interior sound was caught, but that's probably one of the most memorable experiences in my life. And again, I've done some fabulous things. I've been invited to some of the most exclusive, world-renowned events. And that his funeral was just amazing, and it was so full of love and sadness and just his greatness. Even in his death, at his funeral, was felt. So I just thought I'll share that. Only my closest friends and people who know me knew about this, so I thought I would just share that.